everyone. Welcome to Jade Classes. I am Manideepa, your English educator. Today, I'm going to do a lesson for the benefit of Class 9 West Bengal Board. This will be my first video for the students of West Bengal Board. I'm going to do the story All Summer in a Day from your Class 9 book. So, let's start. Be with me. Chalo, let's start. In your book, first, an introduction is being given about the author. Who is the author? All Summer in a Day is written by Ray Douglas Bradbury. Ray Douglas Bradbury, he was born in the year 1920 and he passed away in 2012. Ray Douglas is one of the most celebrated American fiction writers of the 20th century. It means that, he is one of the most notable writers, of the 20th century. He wrote science fiction, fantasy, horror, and mystery stories. Ray Bradbury, or Ray Douglas, he did not stick himself to one style. He wrote across multiple genres, mixing imaginations, fear, suspense. So it is said that he had written science fiction, he had written about fantasy, horror, mystery stories. His most famous stories are Fahrenheit 451, The Martian Chronicles, The Illustrated Men, and It Came from Outer Space. So these are Ray Douglas's masterpieces. So which are his masterpieces? Fahrenheit 451, The Martian Chronicles, The Illustrated Men, and number 4 is It Came from Outer Space. Many of his works have been adapted into comic books, television shows, and films. And many of his stories had been converted into visual and filmmakers than serial makers. So they have converted these stories into movies and different TV shows. So that is about the author. Now let's see that what is there in the text. What is the story about? This text is an excerpt from a science fiction which gives us an imaginary account of life on the planet Venus. So directly from Earth we will go into Venus. And this text, it is a science fiction and it gives us an imaginary account that how life on Venus is. So it's completely imaginative. It's a science fiction, and it gives us an imaginary account that how life on planet Venus is. It touchingly narrates the keen expectations of the children of Venus who eagerly wait for the sun to appear after 7 years, but only for an hour. So what is the title? All Summer in a Day. So the children of Venus, they are eagerly waiting for the sun to appear. And the sun is, we see the sun every day, but in planet Venus, as per the story, the children are going to see the sun after 7 years. And that also, we see the sun for 12 hours. So they will be seeing the sun only for 1 hour. The deviation of the text from what we know as a scientific fact only adds to the imaginative element of the tale. Okay, now what you are going to read over here, as I told you, it's totally a science fiction. Okay, so scientifically means, if I see scientifically, then Venus does not actually have 7 years of rain cycle as it is being narrated in the story. Okay, then why this deviation is being made? So this deviation is made to produce a fictitious story. Okay, so which is a imaginative story. Okay, to produce an imaginative story. Now, what is the setting of the story? Setting of the story. The setting of the story, as I told, that it is in planet Venus. The story takes place in planet Venus. And the story is set in a harsh, watery environment. Okay, how? Because it had been raining for 7 years. For 7 years, it had been raining, non-stop rain. Thousands upon thousands of days filled from one end to the other with rain. Means every single day is completely drenched in rain. Okay, so that means it goes on raining right from morning till night. The days were filled with the gush of water and endless shower. Okay, so it means that each and every day. Okay, so the days are filled with a gush of water and there is endless shower. Means there is non-stop downpour or non-stop rain. Heavy storms caused tidal waves to come over the islands. And the weather in Venus is so violent that it causes massive ocean waves, okay, that dashes against the coast. Okay. 1,000 forests crushed under the rain had grown up 1,000 times to be crushed again. And the rain is so heavy and so destructive that this rain, okay, physically break down forest. Okay, but as we know, if nature destroys, nature rebuilds too. Okay, so it's the rain, so which is a natural thing, so which destroys the forest, and then nature grows them back again, only to be destroyed by the nature again. This was the way of life forever on planet Venus, and this cycle was going on in planet Venus. So this had become a lifestyle. Okay, it's not for one day. So this had become a way of life forever on planet Venus. Means it's a permanent way of life in planet Venus, means on planet Venus. Here we located the classroom of the children belonging to men and women who came by rockets from Earth. Now the author says that here we located the classroom. So here, so we could locate a classroom, and the children, okay, in this classroom, they belong to those men and women who came to planet Venus, okay, via rocket ships. Why? To live permanently on this planet Venus. They set up a civilization in this reigning world. So as so many men and women, okay, have come from Earth to Venus, so what happened? So they started, or they set up a civilization in this reigning world. Okay, as on Earth we are all living, doing our activities. Okay, in the same way, so they have also gone to planet Venus. They are also doing their activities, and they are living over there. Okay, even though the condition is very harsh over there. So despite the terrible weather, so humans have managed to build a society over there, and they are living inside this wet environment. Okay, so after that, okay, the actual story starts. Clear? So here okay, the story starts with a quick exchange of words between the children. Okay, so there was quick exchange of words between the children, so which shows that the children were very anxious. Okay, they were in intense anxiety. Okay, and what is the anxiety about? Because the sun was finally, okay, going to appear. So maybe for 1 hour, okay, but the sun was going to appear. Ready? Okay, so a children asks if the others are prepared, means if the other children are prepared, okay, to see what was about to happen. So what answer did that child get? Ready. Okay, so the others confirm that they are ready, okay, to see the sun. Now, okay, so a child impatiently asks at that moment, okay, that is it going to happen now? Okay, at this moment. So that child gets the answer, okay, that soon, that it will happen soon. Okay, that it is going to happen very shortly. Will it happen today? Will it? Okay, so that means that a child anxiously, okay, asks the question that really will it happen today? Okay, will it? Look, see for yourself. Okay, and another child answers that, okay, stop talking and you can look it for yourself. Okay, so just look out of the window, okay, and watch this historical event, okay, yourself. The children in the classroom chattered and pressed to each other like so many roses. Okay, and the children, so who were in the classroom, they were chattering, means they were talking with one another, and they pressed to each other. So they pressed to each other means everyone wants to see through the window, okay, what is happening. So it seems as if these children are tightly packed just like a rosebud. Okay, they peered out of the window to look at the hidden sky. So everyone was looking out of the window and they were trying to, okay, see the hidden sun. Okay, it rained. Okay, it rained means that it's still raining. It's stopping. It's stopping. Okay, and the other child said that, see, okay, the rain is slowing down. The children were all 9 years old. So this is the information that we are getting, that these children, okay, are all 9 year, means they are all 9 years old. Means what is their age? They are all 9. Okay. When the sun came out last time, 7 years ago, they were 2 young. So if the children are all 9 years now, 7 years back, when the sun came out for 1 hour, at that time, so they were just 2 years of age. Okay, so they could not remember anything. Okay, they could not recall the sun when it came out for just an hour and showed its face to the stunned world. Okay, that 7 years back, these children were just 2 years old, and when the sun came out just for an hour, okay, so they could, means they don't remember anything, okay, about it. All day yesterday they had read in class about the sun. So it was day before, okay, their school lessons were entirely, okay, focused on this sun. Okay, so they had written poetry, essay, okay, everything on sun. They learned how like a lemon it was and how hot. Okay, so they used comparisons, okay, to understand that how sun is, because this will be the first time that these children will be seeing the sun. Okay, so they used a comparison to understand. Okay, so they have learned that the sun is a bright yellow, and they are trying to compare it with lemon. Okay, lemon. Okay, lemon is also yellow, and so they are trying to compare the sun with lemon. And they have known one more thing, that the sun gives out heat, that the sun radiates intense heat. They had written small stories, essays, or poems about it. Okay, so the day before in the classroom, okay, so they have written stories, essays, poems, okay, all about the sun. I think the sun is a flower that blooms for just 1 hour. So these children, okay, they are going to see the sun, okay, for the first time. They don't have any idea, okay, that how the sun looks like. So one child says that I think that the sun is just like a flower, okay, so which will bloom just for 1 hour. That was yesterday, but all this thing had happened, okay, in the class, okay, the day before, okay, means the day before. Today at this moment, the rain was slackening, but today, okay, when the sun is about to come out, okay, so today at this moment, the rain was slackening, means the rain was slowing down. The children gathered at the great thick windows, and the children, so they all gathered, okay, at the thick windows. Thick windows, why it is thick windows? Because the windows were made up of thick glasses, okay, and they have all gathered at the great thick windows. Where is our teacher? So one child notices, okay, that their teacher is missing. Clear? So that child asks that where is our teacher? She will be back, okay, and another child assures, okay, that our teacher will return back soon. She must hurry or she will miss it. Okay, so another child says that our teacher should, okay, hurry, or she will miss, seeing the sun. Okay, because seeing the sun is a rare event. Okay, if their teacher, if the teacher does not hurry, then she will miss seeing the sun. The rain slackened still more. Now, the rain slowed down more. So now it's a light drizzle. The children were eager to see the sun, and the children, so they were all eager to see the sun. They had been on Venus all their lives, means they were born on Venus and they had lived on Venus. So they had been on Venus all their lives. They had been only 2 years old when the sun last came out. And when 7 years back, when the sun last came out, they were just 2 years old. So they could not experience it consciously. But this time, so they want to see the sun. They had long since forgotten the color and the heat of how it really was. If the children had seen the sun also, they were so small during that time that they had forgotten even the color of the sun or how much heat it really gives. So they had forgotten about everything. They played in the echoing tunnels of the underground city and sang of summer and the sun. These children, so they live in underground tunnels. They play in the underground tunnels. Means they have built their world in underground tunnels. They played in the echoing means, when sound gets repeated. So they played in the echoing tunnels of the underground city and sang of summer and the sun. And they know about summer, about sun only in their songs. The rain stopped. It's quite dramatic. That the rain stopped. It was as if a hurricane had lost its sound. Suddenly it seemed, quiet. It was as if a hurricane means a cyclone, it had suddenly lost its sound. There were no motions or tremor, but peace. Everywhere. So there was no motion, no movement or tremor. Just, there was peace, stillness, silence. The world grounded to a standstill. It seemed everything came to a standstill. Everything got frozen up suddenly. The silence was so immense, one would feel as if the years had been stuffed. And this silence, it was so immense, so much, that the children started to feel that their ears had been stuffed or their ears had been blocked or it had been packed with cotton, that they are not able to hear anything. The children put their hands to their ears. They stood apart. And the children were checking their ears. So they put their hands to their ears. They stood apart. And they stood quietly. The door slid back. The door was opened. The smell of the silent, waiting world came to them. And the smell of the silent and waiting world, it came to Then the sun came out, and finally the sun came out of the clouds. It was the color of flaming bronze, and it was very large. And this is the first time that the children, did see the sun. How was the sun? The sun was the color of a flaming bronze, and it was very large. The sky around it was blazing blue, and the sky, all the children had seen the sky always covered with dark clouds. But today, so they could see a sky, which was blazing blue. The jungle burned with sunlight. So this is a metaphor. Okay. The jungle is actually not on fire. Rather, the golden heat or golden sunlight is hitting the thick, wet leaves and the foliage. So which is making the entire jungle to glow and sparkle and radiate heat as if it's being illuminated by fire. The children, released from their spell, rushed out, ailing into the summertime. And the children, it seemed as if when they saw the sun for the first time, the rain stopped. They were cast under a spell. Now, the children, so they were released from this spell and they rushed outdoor. They were crying, they were ailing, shouting. First time, this is the first time, so they could experience the summertime. Now, don't you go too far, their teacher called after them. And the teacher asked them that don't run, too far. Don't go away too far. You have only an hour, Don't go too far. If you go too far, it will be problem for you to come back. You must know that the sun is there only for an hour. After that, again, it would start raining, and the sky again will be covered by dark clouds. The children were running and turning up their faces to the sky to feel the warm sun on their cheeks. But the children were so happy. They were running and they were turning their faces up towards the sky as if they want to warm their cheeks with the sunlight. They took off their jackets and let the sun warm their arms. So they took off their jackets and they wanted the sun, the heat of the sun, to warm their arms. Oh, it's better than lamp lights, isn't it? So one child said, that the sun is better than lamp lights. The light, means the lamp which we light when there is darkness. And the child says that the sun is better than lamp lights, isn't it? Another child agrees and says that much, much better. That the sun is much, much better than lamp lights. They stopped running and stood in the great jungle that covered Venus. So they stopped running and they stood in the great jungle, which covered Venus. The jungle grew and never stopped growing. The jungle had spent years without the sun. So this jungle, it grows and it never stops growing. The jungle had spent years. We know that a forest cannot grow properly without sunlight. But jungle in Venus had spent years without the sunlight. It was the color of rubber, ash and ink. Where sunlight is not there, plant cannot produce chlorophyll. As a result, the jungle in Venus is being described as pale, gray. It's just like rubber, okay, just like rubber. It's colorless, okay, just like ash, dark black, just like ink. Okay, so there is no greenery. Why? Okay, because for the plants to have chlorophyll, the plants need sunlight, but there is no sunlight in Venus. Okay, so leaves are there, trees are there, but they are not green. So they are very pale, and it seems as if they are colorless, just like ash. The children lay out laughing on the jungle mattress. So what did the children do? They rolled about happily on this thick, dense forest floor. They ran among the trees, they slipped and fell. So they ran among the trees, okay? Even they slipped and they fell. They pushed each other and played hide and seek. Even the children, so they pushed each other, they played hide and seek, okay, in the open air. Most of all, they squinted at the sun until tears ran down their faces. And most of them, okay, they squinted, means if you look at the sun, you will not be able to look at the sun properly. Okay, so we just squint at the sun. So most of them, they squinted at the sun. And what happened? So tears ran down their faces. Okay, because it's just a matter of 1 hour. After that, they are not going to see the sun again. And moreover, if you look at the sun, okay, then automatically, okay, because of the light, so tears will come. Okay, so this line has got two meaning. One, okay, that when they looked at the sun, automatically tears came to their eyes. And second is that they are not going to see the sun, okay, anymore. Means if they will see the sun again after 7 years. They breathed the fresh air and listened to the silence which held them in a blessed sea of no sound. So they filled their lungs with outdoor air. So they deeply appreciated this silence. Okay, so they felt comfortable. Okay, and the air, the atmosphere which was surrounding them, so it seemed as if, okay, they were in a peaceful ocean. They looked at everything and savored everything. Savored means they took their time to completely enjoy, appreciate and cherish each and every details which they were experiencing. Then wildly, like animals escaped from their caves, they ran and ran, shouting in circles. Then wildly, like animals, okay, so which has just escaped from its cave, so they ran here and there, so they shouted, okay, means they moved in circles, they ran, they shouted, so they were enjoying to their heart's content. They ran for an hour and did not stop running. So these children were running for about an hour, and yet, okay, they did not feel, means they were not feeling tired, so they were going on running. And then. And then what happened? So it's a dramatic pause. In the midst of their running, one of the girls wailed. So when the children were running, one of the girl, wailed, means she gave out a loud crying sound of sudden grief, or sudden shock. Everyone stopped. So when the girl, cried out, so everyone stopped. The girl standing in the open held out her hand. So the girl, who was standing in the open, so she held out her hand. "Oh, look, look," she said, trembling. So shaking with fear and sadness, so she asked everyone to look, to look. The children gathered slowly to look at her open palm. And all the children came, to see what was there in her open palm. In the center of it was a single large raindrop. So in her palm, in the middle of her palm was a single, large raindrop. The girl began to cry looking at it. And the girl, so she began to cry looking at this, drop of water. The children glanced quickly at the sky, and the children, they looked at the sky. A few cold drops fell on their noses and their cheeks and their mouth. And a few cold drops by this time. So when they looked up, so by this time, a few cold drops fell on their nose, on their cheeks, and on their mouths. The sun faded behind a cloud of mist, and by this time, the sun had faded behind a cloud of mist. A cold wind blew round them, and a cold wind had started to blow. They turned and slowly walked towards their underground houses. And the children turned and they slowly started to walk towards their underground houses. Their smiles had vanished. So, smiles, had vanished from their lips. A boom of thunder startled them. And just at that moment, so they could hear, a thunder crash, a loud crash of thunder. They tumbled upon each other and ran. So in panic, so they rushed because they could understand that the storm was coming on. Oh means, so there was a gaps of fear, disappointment, and the children realized that this brief period of freedom is over. Lightning struck all around them, so there was lightning. The sky darkened into midnight in a flash. And in a flash means instantly it seemed as if it's midnight. The sky had totally become dark. The children stood at the doorway to the underground houses until it was raining hard. And the children, so they were standing at the doorway of the underground house. So when it started to downpour again. Then they closed the doors and heard the gigantic sounds of the rain falling everywhere. So after that they closed the door and now they could again hear the gigantic sound of the rain, so which was falling everywhere. Will it be 7 more years before the sun comes out again? And one of the child asks. okay, heartbreakingly, that do we need to wait 7 years again to see the sun again? Yes. So another answers that yes, okay, you have to wait, or we have to wait for 7 years, okay, to see the sun again. With pale faces, they looked out of the window at the world that was raining now, raining and raining steadily. So with pale faces, again they were looking out, okay, through the window, and they were looking out into a raining world, okay, so where it was pouring cats and dogs. Heavy shower was there. So we have completed the story All Summer in a Day. Hope you have understood the story. If not, write to me in the comment box and I will try to help you as much as possible. I will try to cover up all the poems and stories that you have in your class 9 book one by one. So be with Jade classes, and if you think that my explanation will be of some help to you, this Jade classes will be of some help to you, then do subscribe Jade classes. For the time being, goodbye.